Have you ever wanted to be a millionaire? Have you ever wanted to make over $1 million a year? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 principles that helped me become a millionaire. All right, let's head inside and talk about it. Growing up, I remember thinking, man, I just wish I could meet a millionaire. I wish I could sit down with a millionaire and just pick their brain. I thought that if I met a millionaire and spent time with them, that I would find the key secrets that they use to become successful. You see, growing up, I'd say lower middle class, money was never really talked about. And for the most part, if it was talked about, it was talked about in a negative way. There's so many money limiting beliefs like money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think I am, made out of money? There's so many things that we've heard growing up about why money isn't good. You know, the wealthy are greedy. If you're rich, you're greedy. And what I discovered is all of these things are false for the most part. Of course, there are some rich people who are greedy and there's also some poor people who are greedy. What I learned is money just makes you more of who you already are. The biggest shift for me mindset-wise was when I moved to Newport Beach, California around age 23. By moving to that area, my vision expanded for what was possible in my life, and that's actually my first principle, is creating a big vision for your life. Knowing what your why is. Living in Newport Beach allowed me to be in an environment that was just next level. If you're not familiar with Newport Beach, it's a beautiful oceanside community in Orange County, California. Probably one of the most wealthiest cities in the country. Any given day when driving around, you'll see multiple exotic sports cars. You'll see in the harbor some multi-million-dollar yachts. You'll see oceanside mansions ranging anywhere from, I would say, 10 to 100 million. It's a really nice area. In fact, Tom Ferry, the real estate coach, actually lives there. I remember thinking how cool it would be to go around and knock on doors and just interview the homeowners and be like, what do you do for a living? And funny enough, today on TikTok, you have people who do that, like Daniel Mack on TikTok does that with sports cars. And then there's other people who actually go up to mansions, knock on the door, and ask those people how they afford these houses. And they're fascinating to watch. And I love watching those short clips on either Reels or YouTube Shorts because it just gives you some really unique insight into what different people do to make money to afford really luxurious items. So back to principle number 1, have a vision. Proverbs 29:18 says, without a vision, the people will perish. I don't think that could be any more truer. Without a vision for your life, why would you do the tough work that it takes to be successful? In real estate, knocking on doors, phone prospecting, getting rejected, having 100 no's a week, like things like that aren't that comfortable. Like, why would you do it if you don't have a strong vision? And I learned no matter what point in your life or any point in your career, if you don't have a vision for what that next thing is, even when you hit that pinnacle of success, you gotta have a vision for the next step. Growing up in Michigan, just being in that environment, it wasn't for me that motivating. However, I did read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've talked about it before on the channel, and that opened my eyes to what residual income could do for your life. When I moved to Orange County, it's like a whole new world opened up to me in terms of what possibilities were out there. Benjamin Hardy has a great quote in that book. It's, if you want a different life, you must become a different person. Some people might take that the wrong way, like, well, I don't want to change. I don't want to become a different person. Well, you got to kind of reframe your thinking around that and be thinking, I just want to become more of all the goodness in me, right? You, of course, want to be authentic to yourself, but in order to have a different life, you must become a different person. That's just a fact. The same level of thinking that got you to where you are today isn't the level of thinking that's going to take you to the next step in your life. For you, you might not literally need to move across the country, but maybe you need to move across town. Maybe you need to let go of some old, negative, and toxic relationships that are no longer serving you. Maybe you need to turn off the music and turn on some great audiobooks or podcasts. What types of books are you reading? What type of audio and video are you watching and listening to? All that stuff matters, and that brings me to principle number 2, which is it's all about who you surround yourself with. You might have heard the quote, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's by Jim Rohn. I couldn't agree with that more. Think about like your parenting style, or if you don't have kids yet, like what your parents might have told you. If you're hanging out with maybe the wrong crowd or that troublemaker kid down the street, your parents might have told you like, hey, don't hang out with Johnny, he's a bad influence on you. As parents, or your parents knew that who you surround yourself with really matters, but as we get older and when we become adults, we don't really think about it as much, and we stay in relationships that really are not a positive force in our life. I actually read an article recently and it talked about taking your top 10 friends, the top 10 people you spend the most time with, and adding up all of their incomes, taking the average and seeing how close it compares to you. I actually did this as soon as I read the article, and it was scary how close it was for me. I think the article said it should fall within about 10% or so, and for me, it was spot on. It was definitely within 10%. Take some time later today and be thinking about what are the relationships in my life that are a positive influence? What are the relationships that are a negative influence? Now, it can be tough when it comes to close friends and family members that you can't really just let go of, and you probably shouldn't, especially if they're family. How can you handle that relationship in a way that doesn't hurt your life? Sometimes you do just need to completely let the relationship go if it is that toxic, but sometimes you can just limit how much time you spend with that person. When you're with them, just love on them, but maybe you can't spend so much time with them because you see when you're around them, it actually makes you more negative, makes you more angry, makes you more frustrated. So evaluate this and just be more aware of it. I think just by creating that awareness around it, you'll make the best decision for you. And number 3, get a mentor or a coach. And this can be paid or free. The books that you're reading, the podcasts that you're listening to, the YouTube videos like this one. And if you like this video and you want to hear more of this content, then hit the subscribe button and smash the like button because that would really help as well. But I can be your mentor. The books can be your mentor. Someone in your town can be your mentor. Maybe a coach when you were in high school or college was a mentor to you. I think we'll all have different mentors and coaches during different seasons. But again, as we get older, we think we don't need a coach, we don't need a mentor. So if you're not growth-minded, already knowing this kind of stuff, be thinking about how can you get a mentor or a coach. And a coach can be paid or it can be free. A free coach would be more like a mentor, right? It's more of an informal relationship. I think the best mentors, your financial interests are aligned, meaning you're paying for them, or there's a way like in EXP where I can partner with real estate agents and for free to them still be financially compensated for them joining EXP. So our financial interests are aligned because I want to coach them up and see them do well in real estate so I can make money while they're making money. So that's kind of a neat model we have in EXP Realty. My real first meaningful mentor was a gentleman by the name of Steve Acorn with a company called Student Painters, which is a big college student painting company in Michigan and the Midwest. Basically, we taught college students how to run their own business through the vehicle of teaching them how to paint houses. So they would do estimates, marketing, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, in my late teens, early 20s, he was a great mentor to me, and our financial interests were aligned in this situation because the more production I did, the better job I did at managing other college students' businesses, the more money he made. But those relationships, if you get the right mentor, they care about you and you care about them, and it's a win-win all around. But I'm a firm believer in also always having a paid coach, and having a paid coach for the main reason of accountability. You want someone that's gonna hold you accountable, they're gonna call you on your BS, right? And if you really wanna take your life to the next level, besides business, like where else could you have a coach? Health, nutrition? I just hired someone to do my nutrition for me because my health is not where I want it to be. I've been gaining a little bit too much weight, having this second baby that we just had, so I need some more accountability around that. Now, these 3 key principles, they don't live separate of each other. They're all so intertwined that one without the other doesn't really work. If you have this big vision for your life of what you want your future to look like, but you don't surround yourself with the right people and get a mentor, you're probably not going to achieve that vision. And that was me for a long time, actually, for most of my 20s, up until about probably 27 after I got into real estate and I surrounded myself with the right people, got a coach, is when I really started to make strides towards my financial freedom. Before that, I had the vision, I was reading the books, but I wasn't surrounding myself with the people and I didn't have a mentor. I was just kind of stuck on an island. Or if you have a mentor, but you don't really know where you want to go, how can that mentor really help you then? And if you just have a mentor, but your environment that you're creating with the people that you're surrounding yourself with, you're just not gonna really get there as fast as you want, if at all, because your mentor can't be the only support person for you. They can't be the only person holding you accountable. They can't be the same person that's leveling up your thinking. You might only have a phone call with them once a week if it's a paid coach, or even worse, if it's an informal coach, maybe you just do lunch once a month. The people you surround yourself with that you spend the most time with, those people are going to have an even bigger impact in your life. And if you got great people around you and you got a mentor with no vision, well, there's no hope, right? Where there's no vision, the people will perish. But I can tell you what, you get a mentor, you surround yourself with the right people, the vision will take care of itself, because that's what surrounding yourself with good people and getting a good mentor will do for you.